Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, it took a lot for me to convince Angelina to go on a cruise to begin with. As you all know, she's terrified of water. But I got her to go on a cruise. And then I got her to go into the water with some stingrays. Next, I actually got her to go in a submarine.
It's the fire in the rain. It's the smile within the pain. It's the logic but insane. You cannot know from where it came. It's the way you cross the floor before you head on out the door. It's the figure on the wall. So many times I heed the call. It's the silence of the room, the way you turn before you bloom. Another shadow for the blind. I think I'm gonna lose my mind. Although I'm running up a hill, I feel I'm always standing still. Can't remember where I've been. I don't know where I should begin. I don't know where I should begin. I don't know where I should begin. To many of us here, a crowded planet full of fear. It's not the way it's meant to be. We should be happy living free. Although I'm running up a hill, I feel I'm always standing still. Remember where I've been. I don't know where I should begin. 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 It's the fire in the rain. It's the smile within the pain. It's the logic but insane. You cannot know from where it came. It's the way you cross the floor before you head on out the door. It's the figure on the wall. So many times I heed the call. It's the silence of the room, the way you turn before you bloom. Another shadow for the blind. think I'm gonna lose my mind. Although I'm running up a hill, I feel I'm always standing still. Can't remember where I've been, I don't know where I should begin. I don't know where I should begin. I don't know where I should begin. There's far too many of us here, a crowded planet full of fear. It's not the way it's meant to be. We should be happy living free. Although I'm running up a hill, I feel I'm always standing still. Can't remember where I've been, I don't know where I should begin.
So, here's something you should never do. Climb over things into tanks that you're not supposed to climb into to pet the animals. Very, very silly people.
I don't know where I should begin. It's the fire in the rain, it's the smile within the pain, it's the logic but insane. You cannot know from where it came. It's the way you cross the floor before you head on out the door. It's the figure on the wall. So many times I heed the call.
And in case you're wondering, that employee right there is now kicking them out of the park. Good job. That's what happens when you're idiots.
I think I'm gonna lose my mind. Although I'm running up a hill, I feel I'm always standing still. Can't remember where I've been, I don't know where I should begin. I don't know where I should begin. I don't know where I should begin. There's far too many of us here, a crowded planet full of fear. It's not the way it's meant to be. We should be happy living free. Although I'm running up a hill, I feel I'm always standing still.
All right, well, we're back again, and today we were in St. Thomas. And the last time I was here in St. Thomas, I went out to Coral World. And Coral World was right after the hurricane last time I was here. And I wanted to do the swimming with the sea lions, and then I wanted to see the observatory and the shark tank and the observatory and all the aviary. All of that was gone. Even where they do the enclosure for the sea lions was gone. They were putting us into the training tank, is where we actually went to swim that day. So I did a video on that about how I went up to them and said, look, you know, I understand it was a hurricane, but everything that's on my list here that you say is there is literally 1 out of 9 things that was still left standing. So we agreed on a half price ticket. So they gave me half my money back on it, which I was fine with. I'm happy to say Coral World is back in full production now. There's lots of areas. They have the undersea observatory, the aviary is rebuilt, the sea lion exhibit is rebuilt, and they have a brand new dolphin exhibit in the back. All that's built up. Lots of great snorkeling in the area if you want to do it. That's fantastic. It's all over the place. Now, we did the submarine ride, and we also just walked around Coral World. So what did you think of the submarine?
Being afraid of small spaces and underwater and boats, I was quite nervous to go on it.
However, it was quite large downstairs.
It was, yes.
When I pictured going in the submarine, I haven't been on a submarine yet, I pictured it was going to be like this, because they say it's very tight. There's a whole walkway about this wide between seats, and I didn't feel claustrophobic, and we weren't even full.
No, and there was enough air conditioning was happening through. But it was not scary at all. No, I did enjoy it.
It was fine. We saw some turtles underneath, lots of...
What was the name of that blue fish?
It was a...
Short? No.
It was, they call it the shark sucker, the one with the flat head that'll attach itself, and so it's a scavenger type fish.
Do you have it on video?
I have it on video. People will see it. They've probably already seen it because this will be at the end of the video. But it was entertaining. It wasn't amazing, but it was great. I enjoyed it.
I think the great part was the diver going in and actually feeding them around us.
And they did. They went from one end of to all down one side, around the front, and then walked all the way to the back to make sure every single person got a chance to see around. And then they say they have seen moray eels out there, about a 5-foot nurse shark at one point. The lady was answering any questions we had. It was very nice, very polite. And like I said, it wasn't claustrophobic, which a lot of people are afraid going there that it is. Just picture a large boat, except it's downstairs.
Quite open with air, light blue, so calming. It was a very good duration.
Yeah.
It was
about
not
40
a short
minutes,
one.
30 minutes, 40 minutes, which is not too bad. It wasn't a really expensive excursion either. And then we got to walk around Coral World. Now, if you're a snorkeler like I am, around Coral World is some fantastic places to snorkel. First off, you can go out by the little observatory they have, and there's a ton of fish. You've seen it in the video from underneath in the windows. But if you just walk over next to it, there's another beach. And if you walk along the right-hand side to where all the rocks are, there's a ton of fish over there as well. It's probably one of the better places to snorkel for seeing sea life than almost any place I've been to in the Caribbean.
Wow.
The fish are just everywhere. They are all kinds of colors all over the place. So if you're a snorkeler, you don't need to pay for a snorkeling excursion. Head over to Coral World, go to the beach right beside it. It's probably way better than most of the shore excursions you'll ever do for snorkeling. Other than you don't get to go on the catamaran. That's about it. But I enjoyed myself today. Did you?
I did. It was amazing. Yes.
And St. Thomas is beautiful. Now we are on the side facing land today. So Angelina doesn't get that beautiful view of all the sailboats out in the harbor, which is the picturesque view that you see from all the postcards. But you might see it when we pull out tonight. It's going to be pretty late. I forgot we're leaving at 9:30 tonight. So we arrived at 10 and we have all aboard time is 9:30 at night. Almost 12 full hours here in St. Thomas. That's a long time.
This view is gorgeous though.
It's beautiful scenery, but if you want to see picturesque, the other side of the ship is the better side. And you can't judge it because one day you'll pull in forward, the next time they'll have you back in. So it's a hit and miss situation. You can't plan which way you're going to come into the shore. But there's 3 large ships in town today, but other than right here at the port, it didn't feel overcrowded anywhere we went.
No.
So, again, another beautiful sunny day. I wore sunscreen today.
Mm-hmm. I did too, all over. So
Yeah.
let's hope we're not burned.
Well, we should be fine.
But yet the forecast was showing 100% rain.
2 days ago it said 100% chance of rain. And then last night it said 60% chance of rain. There's not a cloud in the sky. Not a single cloud in the sky.
It's gorgeous.
And tomorrow we hit St. Maarten. And if you remember last time in St. Maarten I did the horseback riding. Angelina wants to do horseback riding. So I said, okay, we're going to go. Remember, she's afraid of big things. She's afraid of water. And I don't know if she realizes this yet, but the horses go in the water.
Oh.
See, she didn't realize
No.
this part at all. Just like when we left Ottawa, I said, oh, by the way, I'm not flying home with you. You're flying home by yourself. I decided to stay and do some more cruising.
That was a nice surprise. Thank
Surprise!
you. He knew not to tell me prior to it because I would not have
I was going to tell you, or I told Paul to tell you, which is her husband, and he said, no, you tell her and tell her on the trip, please. So I told her in the car when they picked me up to go to the
I
airport.
couldn't go back.
Nope.
Not at that point.
But she's going back, and she's going to do it
Alone.
because on the way here, we got through it fine, right?
Yes. And you showed me all the
Yeah.
steps and what I have to follow and how to get home safe.
Yeah, flying back to Canada is a lot less scary than flying to the States for the first time. So we just fly out, go through customs, and we're there. So it won't be a big deal.
No.
But we have, like I said, St. Maarten tomorrow, 2 more sea days on the beautiful Regal Princess, which she's
Huge.
amazed at the size of the ship.
So
And
huge, no words
She
to
might,
explain.
she might like the next ship we're on too, after we go to Disney.
Oh, Disney. Disney too.
She's a little excited for Disney. I have a feeling I'm going to be spending 10 minutes at a ride, 2.5 hours at the
In the
shopping.
shops.
10 minutes on a ride,
Which we just did.
2.5 hours at the shopping center. We just spent shopping here in St. Thomas, and I go,
Absolutely bought.
those things are expensive. And she goes, I know, but maybe there's some cheaper ones over here. They're all the same price everywhere you go. And then they always lower it the more you show disinterest. So we started out at, say, $3.50 for one item, and it got down to $2.75, and we probably could have got it even lower than that. So if you're ever at even the jewelry stores that are lining the port, like Effie and all the Pandora and all them, lesson learned, they will drop the price. Never pay the first price. Never pay the sticker price. But so far, so good. Right?
Absolutely.
Learning a lot?
Yes. A lot. And enjoying it.
Last night, she went off with some friends that we've met on the ship. And
Till 1:30.
she went by herself
Yes.
because I was working.
Found my way home.
And she found her way back. So that was good. And I could track her because it's medallion. So I knew exactly where she was all the time. I just had her on my phone. So if I saw her going off in the distance,
Uh-oh.
I would know.
Chase me.
Yeah. So, but no, it's a very nice family together here that's sailing. The wife called me prearranged that we can meet on the ship. And so that we actually ran into each other even without doing that prearrangement. So it was great. And they're getting along great. So they've been hanging out while I work, which works out perfect. Until next time, we've been rambling a little bit. Join us in St. Maarten next time. And we'll see if Angelina falls off a cliff on the horse. Or goes under the water. And what she thinks about horses in front of her in the water. Because horses like to do things in the water, and it's not as picturesque as people think.
Okay. Might not be going on that excursion.
She will, but we might be showering a lot afterwards. Until next time, everybody, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.